gave in and I bought a new iPad. Dude, this is crazy thin. English or Spanish? So my current iPad was the 12.9-inch iPad Pro from 2019, but it's been 5 years since I've had this thing with the Magic Keyboard, and as you can see, this Magic Keyboard has been through everything. I've took it on plenty of trips with me all around the world. I've stuffed it in a backpack that shouldn't be stuffed that full. Literally, that thing weighed up to 45 pounds at one point. I'm not even joking. And this thing was just smushed in there. I just jammed it in there, and that's why the edges of the Magic Keyboard was so frayed, but it took it like a champ. I'm not even gonna lie, it's super scratched up, but I thought it would be time for an upgrade. So my brother currently doesn't have an iPad, so this is gonna be going to him. It's still fine, it still does everything I need it to do, which is, to be honest, just journaling and light stuff like answering emails, writing scripts. But hopefully, with me getting a new iPad, I could be a little bit more productive. I'm gonna use it a lot better, try to get into art again. And the smaller form factor is going to be a lot different for me. Ever since I downsized from a 16-inch to a 14-inch MacBook Pro, I've never looked back. I love the smaller form factor, so I believe that I'm going to have the same experience when it comes to the iPad. That is really nice. We are back on the island of Oahu. I am very excited to be here, but let's continue talking about the M4 iPad Pro, specifically in the 11-inch model. So I want to talk about my experience, my first impressions going from a 13-inch iPad Pro down to an 11-inch. And I've had that thing for years now. I've been using it pretty much every day for mostly work, but then I'm also using it for entertainment and stuff, journaling. And having a smaller form factor is amazing. It's a very welcome downsize. I really like the smaller form factor, because whenever I use the iPad Pro 13-inch, I've always just been using like one portion of the screen when it comes to journaling, or one portion of the screen when it comes to sketching or doing any sort of art. So like, I don't really need the extra real estate, and having the extra portability is so much more welcomed instead of the larger size. So dude, I am so glad that I got the 11-inch, and it's just like the same experience with me going from a 16-inch MacBook Pro to a 14-inch. It was a very, very welcomed sort of difference. I don't know how to explain it, but I really, really like the smaller form factor. The Nano Texture display was also very interesting. I never got a chance to try it out before ordering it. I just decided to get it because I liked drawing, I liked sketching, I like using my Apple Pencil a lot. And the extra reduced glare seemed very compelling. Is that the word? I really wanted it. And bear with me. I'm still trying to learn how to express my thoughts on this, but just express my thoughts in general. So I will get better with this over time. But I love it. It's sort of weird. It feels like glass still-ish, but then you can tell what the regular glass feels like when you brush along the edge of the iPad where the border is, and you could tell that's the regular iPad glass surface, whereas the Nano Texture Glass it feels a little bit more slick. When writing with an Apple Pencil, it's still pretty smooth, but you can feel a different sort of texture. I don't know how to explain it. You have to try it out yourself. I think it's worth it, but you do have to get like a terabyte of storage for whatever odd reason in order to get the Nano Texture Glass. But that's the only downside, which means you have to pay more. Plus it's already 100 extra for the glass, and you have to get a higher storage. So I don't know. I like it. If you do a lot of art, if you do journaling, highly recommended. Although it isn't necessary. I'm gonna stress that out. It isn't necessary at all. I really, really do like the reduced glare when it comes to viewing your iPad outside though, or when the light is coming straight down from the roof. Concerning the performance, it is noticeably smoother, although, you know, for what I use my iPad Pro for, it's definitely not necessary. Again, I just use it to journal for working, like scripting, sending emails, stuff like that, entertainment. I'm trying to get into video editing on the iPad. I really want to try it out. I haven't tried it yet, but I really, really want to. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future, but for now this is just my first impressions. I still haven't had the chance to play around with it that much, but so far I love it. I am also off topic, but I am going to do an accessories video for the iPad Pro, so if you want to stick around for that, make sure to subscribe. Hello? Why? Alright, bye-bye. I'll be right back. Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so the performance isn't really that big of a deal for me. It is a lot smoother. I'm pretty sure that when I try video editing, it's gonna be noticeable. But for now, journaling, art, scripting, stuff like that is pretty much the same. The Magic Keyboard, however, has had an upgrade, and it's pretty nice. The exterior is pretty much the same material for the most part. There's a slight difference in the hinge. It feels a lot more premium since it's bare aluminum now. When you open it up, inside is aluminum, the trackpad is aluminum. The keys feel like they have a little bit more travel. I have a little skin protector thingy on it right now, which changes the typing experience a little bit, but I really love the smaller form factor. It did take me a little bit of time to adjust from the 12.9-inch iPad Pro down to the 11-inch, but it wasn't too big of a deal. There's just like minor differences like the delete key, the dash key, the return key, the shift keys are a little bit smaller, and all the keys are a little bit more squished together. They're a little bit more compact, but overall it's pretty much the same typing experience. And the keys light up now. I don't know if it did with the older iPad that I had, but it's a lot more noticeable. It's pretty cool. The hinge is nice, very solid. There's a lot of people complaining about it like being really wobbly when you tap on the screen, but I don't really mind it. My wrists are usually resting on the Magic Keyboard anyways, and I have something in the future that's coming whenever it decides to get delivered. That might fix the problem, so if it does, I'll make a video on it. If you want to see it, leave me a comment and I'll reply to you on what it actually is. The Apple Pencil Pro is pretty cool as well. The squeeze is very interesting. I haven't really played around with this as well, so I can't really say anything about it. But then there's a lot of upgrades. Like you could look at it, the upgrades yourself. I'm pretty sure you've seen a ton of videos by now, but for me personally, it feels, I don't know, there's just something about it that feels more premium. The squeeze thing is game changing though. Like, it feels like you're actually squeezing. It's like that same kind of feedback when you click on the trackpad of a MacBook. And I have this little thing on my iPad Pro and the Magic Keyboard that keeps it from getting knocked out of place, because it's super easy to accidentally knock your Apple Pencil off of the iPad, and then you could drop it and then ruin the tip. So I have something here from Elago. It goes in between the iPad and the Magic Keyboard. I'll have it linked in the description. It's pretty cool. It's a little tedious when you take the iPad out of the case, but I think it's worth the extra protection, and it's gonna save me from having to buy multiple replacement tips. As for the battery life, it's pretty good. As thin as the iPad is, I think it does last a lot longer, or noticeably longer compared to my older iPad. But again, that thing is a few years old, 4 to 5 years old now. And yeah, it's very efficient, even with the smaller capacity battery, because it is so thin now. I really enjoy using this iPad because of the battery life. But you know, overall, this was a win. It was a worthy upgrade. Downsizing from from a 13-inch or a 12.9-inch iPad down to an 11-inch is so good. It's so worth it. I don't miss the larger screen at all. Whenever I multitask, I don't feel like I'm missing out. It's still the same experience to me, except in a smaller form factor. I think it's partly because I can read fine print, like smaller print, and I don't really mind if the text is a little bit smaller, more squished together. I actually prefer it. Like, you could see, like, the bullet points on my phone is tiny. So yeah, I have nothing to complain about it except for the price and how much I paid for this thing, but it's so worth it. I love the screen, I love the battery life, I love the new Apple Pencil Pro, I love the new Magic Keyboard. Everything about this thing is great, and it was definitely a worthy upgrade. It was an upgrade that needed to happen because it's been a few years since I've had my last MacBook Pro. No, I keep saying MacBook Pro, my last iPad Pro. So that is it. My first impressions of the iPad Pro. I will probably make a review video-ish of what I think about it. I know this video was really messy. I just wanted to spew out my thoughts and what I thought about this thing with the little amount of time that I've had with it so far. But if you did enjoy, if you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate you. Thanks for listening.